In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to shoot a football to consistently get more power and accuracy when you shoot, and this is only one of the skills I'm going to be breaking down today. Like the easiest technique for dribbling in any situation on the pitch, to 5 best tips to start doing hundreds of juggles, how to pass a football, and much more. Because knowing how to shoot is great, but if you're not good in all areas of the pitch, you'll never reach the next level in football. So by the end of this video, if you can learn all 5 of the skills I'm about to share, you'll know exactly how to quickly and easily improve in every part of your game. And whether you're a beginner or an experienced baller, these secrets can help footballers of any skill get to the next level. So let's start with first touch. So having a good first touch is super important, but there's different ways to control the ball depending on how you're receiving it. 90% of the time, you're going to be controlling the ball with the inside part of your foot because it has the largest surface area, making it very easy to control. So when the ball is coming to you, you're going to control with the inside, you're going to shift your foot back to absorb the impact. So right now, we're going to break them all. I got Ryan in the center of the field. So right now, he's going to play it. I'm going to show you. Inside, boom. As you can see, shifting my foot back, now I killed the ball. Now I'm gonna get him to play other types of balls. I'm gonna show you how to control those. Because in game, you're gonna be receiving different types of passes and you need to be able to control those types of passes. Different types of passes are gonna require different types of touches. Trapping ball, that's where I trap it into the ground and then I drive forward. So that one required a different technique. The ball was so low, if I try to control with the inside, it would just bounce off. In those situations, you either control with your sole or you trap it into the ground, like I just did, and then you drive forward. So now he's gonna play a chest ball. I'm gonna show you how to control that. It's super high, and you just chest, shift your body back, now you kill it. Then lastly, I'm gonna show you, let's say there's a defender on me, I'm a fullback or I'm a winger. There's a defender on me right here. I'm gonna take a directional touch forward. So here you're using the inside of the foot, but you're not just shifting your foot back and killing the ball. With the touch, you're gonna lean into it and then redirect it into the space that you wanna touch it in. Make sure you use your hips, lean into it to guide the ball into that direction that you want to touch it in. And the foot that you're touching with isn't shifting back, it's going forward with the momentum of the ball. So the second to last technique is aerial control. Sometimes when a goalkeeper is kicking the ball up or the ball is coming very direct up top. So for that, the best technique is always to control with your laces, right? And then shift your foot back to kill the ball. Also known as the Dybala touch. Dybala back at Juve did this a lot. So as you can see, the ball is going to be coming aerially, laces, shift back, and instead. And you're able to consistently control the ball a lot easier if you use your laces and you shift it back to kill the ball. The very last pass that you're going to be receiving in game is going to be a ground pass. The best technique here is to control with the side of the foot, kind of shift your foot back, killing the ball, and then you play it forward. Now he's going to play a harder pass. Again, the same technique applies. So either fast or slow, that's the technique you want to use. Now, if you want a directional touch, the same thing's gonna apply with the switching. And that is the first touch broken down. But honestly, that's only the start, because as this video goes on, I'm breaking down every technique you need to master in real games, all leading up to the easiest way to shoot a football. And before I move on to the next aspect, I've made a 40-minute masterclass just for you, breaking down the 3 training plans I use to master each one of the skills in this video. So after you watch this, go click the link in the description to go straight to that guide, so you can finally take your game from average to reaching your full potential in only 30 days. But now, let's break down juggling, so you can start controlling the ball with ease. Everyone keeps asking me, should I juggle with my toes or control with my laces? Which is the right way? When you control with your toes, you're working on keeping the ball as close to yourself as possible. And this is the technique a lot of footballers use when they're doing freestyle tricks. You're indirectly teaching yourself the technique to shift your foot back and to absorb the impact of the ball, which is super, super important and in place to your first touch. Again, when you're doing freestyle tricks, you're gonna have to juggle with your toes to be able to keep the ball close and to be able to execute the moves. This is working on your foot speed, foot-eye coordination. It's also super fun and it gets you more comfortable with the ball. Second is the laces, the one where it's a hard touch. You want to keep it waist height or head height. Now what this works on is teaching you how to lock your ankle. So as you can see, I'm locking my ankle through the motion. And this is the right technique when you're shooting a shot. You want to keep your laces locked through the motion because that's what generates power. My foot is flat as I raise it. I'm locking my ankle, I'm sort of on my toes. And as you can see, my body positioning is somewhat neutral, and that is how you juggle, and that's how it takes your game to the next level. And before I get into the easiest way to pass and shoot the ball, now let's break down dribbling so you can start beating defenders effortlessly. Now there's 2 parts of the foot that you make contact with when you dribble the ball. One is going to be the inside foot, the other is the outside foot. But which is the right technique? You're going to use your laces 98% of the time. That's the right technique when you're driving at the defender because it's super direct and it's much faster than with the inside foot. The inside foot is the part of the foot that you use when you're slowing down the play and you're engaging the defender. Now that we got the parts of the foot, how do you dribble the ball into space? How do you drive at the defender? How many touches do you take? Now, when you're driving the ball into space, the last thing you want to do is take a touch with every step, because many people think, oh, I'm keeping the ball close to myself, which is what I want, because then someone can't come and get it from me. You're not taking a touch with every step. That is the right technique when you take players on, because you want to keep the ball as close to yourself as possible. But here, you want to quickly drive the ball to space to quickly cover ground and to get forward. So you don't want to take a touch with every step. Let's say I'm the left winger. I just got the ball off a corner kick that's on our side, and I see all the space I can drive into. You don't want to dribble with your laces, taking a touch with every step, because look, even if I go as fast as possible, if I take a touch with every step, I'm inherently a lot slower. The much better technique in this situation is to drive the ball with your laces and then shoot the ball forward, taking a touch with every couple of steps. So if you take a look, boom, how quicker is that? If you compare the two, that was a lot quicker. Even if it was 1 or 2 seconds, that is 1 to 2 seconds that you cannot waste, especially at the highest level of football. Now that you know how to dribble into space, there's one other dribbling technique that you need if you want to beat defenders. The next is dribbling into a 1v1 to beat the defender. So Ryan is my defender right here. The last thing we want to do here is to take heavy touches. You can see, take heavy touches, because then I'm not in control of the ball and he could just step into it and win it. Obviously, there are times you do this, he steps, then you take a heavy touch to go against his momentum and to take him out the game. Even then, when you're engaging the defender, you always want to keep the ball as close to you as possible, because then you're in control of the ball. So let's say I have the ball, taking a touch for every step, I have the ball close, right? I can cut in, then cut across, and take him out the game. So the right technique when engaging in a 1v1 is to always dribble with your laces, but taking a touch with every step, keeping the ball close. And that was cool, but now passing. Now, passing is the most important part of the game. If you don't know how to pass the ball, that means you don't know how to connect passes. That means you don't know how to move the ball. And the game, 99% of football is just pass and move. And if you don't know how to pass the ball, then you're cooked. So here's how to pass correctly. So the first is the standing foot. Standing foot is a lot more important than you may think. So your standing foot is the compass to your shot. When you point your foot into that direction, as you can see, my foot is pointed to him, and the foot I pass with follows that flight path. So if you take a look, so your standing foot guides the ball into the direction that you want to aim at. This is going to be super important. Again, making contact with the side is the general passing technique a lot of footballers use. So make contact with the side is pretty simple, right? So you want to make contact with the inside part of the foot, it has the largest surface area. As you make contact, you want to snap your foot through the ball. So this is used to pass around the defender, to curl the ball around. Alexander-Arnold is really good at this. So if you touch out and then you kind of curl your foot around, right? You're able to curl the ball around the defender and get it to your teammate. Now you know exactly how to pass, dribble, and control the ball the easy way. The last piece is shooting, but there's so much more to football than just technical training. You have mental training, physical training, tactical training, and of course, getting trials and opportunities at better clubs. Combining all these aspects of training together is what's going to get you to that pro level as fast as possible. It took me only 2 years to go from grassroots to signing for a professional academy, and I've helped thousands of other players do the exact same. I've packaged all of that training and more together for you, so if you're interested, click the first link in the description. And finally, let's move on to the last technique, shooting. Now, shooting is very simple, but a lot of people like to overcomplicate it. You need to be able to shoot the ball to score. Whatever position you are, striker, winger, center back, center mid, you're gonna find yourself in front of the net, and you need to be able to make contact with the ball to generate power and to get the ball into the back of the net. First one is making contact with the side. Making contact with the side of the ball is gonna give you that curling effect. And this is the technique that you wanna use when you're cutting in to aim to the far post, because the goalkeeper is going to be positioned into that near post area, and the last thing you want is a direct shot towards him. So this is when you want to make contact with the side. So you want to curl the ball around the goalkeeper so you get it away from him with the curling effect, which will make it a lot harder to save, and you'll get the ball into the back of the net. Curling the ball is making contact with the side in a circular motion. Under the heart of the ball, because this is what's going to give it that air time in an upwards motion, and you want to lean into it. So as it lifts, you're guiding the ball down into the net. Again, your standing foot guides the ball into the direction you want to aim at, kind of like when you're passing. This is the compass to your shot, contact with the side, under the ball, just kind of like that. You see how that had that curling effect? Now you're gonna learn how to do a direct, straight laces shot where you're aiming. There's no curling effect. It's very direct with as little backspin as possible. So right now is the ground technique. So if you take a look, right? It's kind of on the ground, but a low driven power shot. So as you take a look, I'll do it again right now. Boom, right? On the ground, quickly into the net, following a straight flight path, an aerial power shot. You wanna make contact under the heart in an upwards motion, and then you kind of wanna lean into, so as you lift it up, you're driving it down into the net. So if you take a look, the ball's right there, driven into it. As you can see, contact under the heart and slightly leaning into it. And how you generate power into a laces shot is as simple as it looks. So as you take a heavier touch out, you generate momentum as you're running and you're kind of sprinting through the shot. And that affects snap through, which affects the follow through, which affects the power behind the shot. So again, this is super, super important. You want to have as big of a follow through as possible, as big of a run up as possible, because you're able to generate more power into the shots. Heavy follow through, boom, into that far right corner. So now that you know how to control and pass the ball more accurately, beat any defender, and control the ball perfectly, make sure you subscribe for more value like this. And if you want to know how to choose the best football position for you, go watch this video next to find out.
Make sure to watch the video.